This Mules Golf Update brought to you by Warrensburg Collision, the official collision center of UCM Athletics.
All right, so Coach Poe, as we get this interview started, we might hear some construction noise in the background. We've got a big project going here at UCM. Talk about how this course renovation is going to affect your team.
Well, I think it's definitely going to help recruiting. I think when young players come in here and pull in this parking lot and see our clubhouse and our practice facility, and then with the addition of this new golf course, it's going to be a pretty impressive sight when they pull in here, especially with the new island green right here on 18. So, you know, I definitely think it's going to help in recruiting. But as far as our team, you know, it's going to be a very tough golf course, very challenging from the par threes, and so I think it's going to make our kids better being able to play something this tough every day. You know, so we're excited to get it done. It's looking great, and can't wait till this next spring when we can play on it every day.
And we will be hosting MIAA events here eventually. You know, how do you think that's going to play into the overall competition of the conference?
You know, it's going to be nice having be able to showcase a brand new golf course to some of the players that maybe had seen our old golf course, and then impress some of the new players in the conference with our own facility. There's no other schools in the conference that have their own golf course, so it'll be nice to really showcase it to the MIAA and the coaches that have seen our old golf course. I'm looking forward to that day. We won't host this next year, but we have a two-year period between the time we host, so it'll give the golf course a chance to kind of mature in and thicken up, and we're looking forward to that also.
So one thing we have to brag about with UCM men's golf, you and your teams have had great success in the MIAA. What do you do to keep that up on a year-to-year basis? First
off, getting good players here. We've been fortunate to have a really good group of guys, and that all have pushed each other. One thing we do here at Central Missouri is we have a little bit bigger roster than most teams, so there's a lot more inter-squad competition. And I've always said, in my theory, the more you have pushing to get into that top five, and the better competition you have to get in that top five, the better off your teams are. You know, you have players always looking over their shoulder, wondering, you know, who's pushing them, and it keeps them working really hard. And then buying into our team concept, I think has made us very competitive on the national level. But you know, first and foremost, I think just getting good players in here that I feel will be a good fit for our program. On that national level, and you and I have talked before about being in the Midwest.
You know, a lot of people think of the Florida schools as the best schools, and they are very good. But again, you know, we finished tied for third in the national, you know, after the national meet this year. Sam obviously went out and won the national title. What was this year experience? What was that like for you on the national level?
Well, any time you finish, you know, even making the match play is a big deal. But to have a chance to, you know, right there to the end, to make it to the final match and have a chance to win, that's what we're trying to do. You know, and our guys have bought into, you know, we're trying to win a national championship. We're not trying to just get there and compete well there. We want to compete to win. But that experience last year was incredible. Guys really played well in the first match, and I thought as well as they played that, you know, we had a really good shot at winning it all. But ran into a really good team there in that semifinal match and lost. But Sam's national championship was our first in school history, and it was incredible to watch. A great experience for me. I learned a lot. We've had guys, Justin Yoder in the past, that almost won it one year, but to have someone finally win it was an incredible learning experience for me, and to watch him play the way he did against a couple of the best players in the country was really neat. To watch him stay focused, hang in there, and hold on and win the thing.
From that team, you graduated some obviously very talented seniors, but you've got guys back. I mean, Player of the Year in Travis. So what are you looking for out of some of your guys in this 2015-2016 season?
Well, I have a big young class. I brought in probably more freshmen than I ever have. We got 6 freshmen, and then I have a Division I transfer. So I have a big group of new faces. Just looking for a couple of them to step up and step right in. And no, you're not going to replace a national champion, and you're not going to replace a 2-time All-American like Cy was. But I feel like the players that we have here are every bit as talented. I feel like they can shoot the numbers that those guys did, but they may just not be on the consistent basis that Cy and Sam were in their tail end of their careers. But I feel like we got any one of 6 or 7 kids that can jump in there and play well for us. Have a couple returners that didn't play much last year. I look for Robbie Huey, kid that won the regional as a freshman and was an All-American as a freshman, to step in. He's a senior this year. I look for him to have a good final year. But we got a good nucleus of returners that I feel like will show these young guys what it takes to play at this level and to get our team back to the national championship. So the kids nowadays, they play a lot more competitive golf throughout the summer than they used to when I first started coaching. So I feel like our kids are really ready at a young age because they've played a lot of national type competition, a lot of statewide competition against collegiate players. So it's not going to be anything really any different when they get to the tournaments that we play in. I mean, they're going to see a lot of players that when we play locally that they've seen before, and the talent level of the tournaments away from here is not going to be that much different. So I feel like the kids will be comfortable. They'll be nervous if they're not, there's something wrong, but I feel like they'll be ready to play when it comes time.
So then, kind of wrapping it up here, in the grand scheme of how the MIAA might play out, and being a fall and spring sport, how important is it going to be this year for you all to get a jump when the fall tournaments start?
Well, I think as close as the competition could be this year. I mean, there's a lot of parity in our league this year, so I feel like anytime you can get a win or a victory or get some points up on some of the top teams, it's a huge advantage. Last year Central Oklahoma had a great start. They got off to a lead, and I felt like we're going to be very tough to catch, but we did play well at the end and end up winning it. But I feel like there's several teams that are going to be pretty good, that have some senior leadership and going to be very tough. So it'll be important early, to get as many points as we can. Playing two really good golf courses at the 2 conference sites down in Missouri Southern. We'll be hosting one at a course we've never seen at Shangri-La that I've heard is great. So it'll be important for us to go down there and get a good practice round in and see that golf course and try to get a plan for what we need to do there. And then we'll be back at St. Joe Country Club, which a lot of our guys have played in the past few years. So that won't be as important to get a map of that golf course, but 2 great golf courses, 2 good sites for this fall. So looking forward to that. But it is going to be important to get off to a good start. You don't want to finish back in the middle and have to be climbing your way back through at the end. So feel like it's going to be a great year. Conference is going to be very strong and make a good representative at the end when we get into postseason. Our teams have done very well. I think the MIAA is starting to shine as far as golf is concerned with our teams and how we're doing at the end.
This Mules Golf Update brought to you by Warrensburg Collision, the official collision center of UCM Athletics.